down over the lake. I had to climb down that little valley and back up again, and at the bottom was a stream because I needed water. But all the streams up here are usually draining some kind of little bog, and therefore there's a lot of tannins in the water. So the water is usually yellow, can be either a light yellow to a brown, dark iced tea color. So this one wasn't too bad, it was light yellow. Doesn't really add much flavor to it, it's just some tannins, but a lot of people don't like it because it looks dirty. But it's okay. And I got 6.5 more miles to go to the shelter. That'll give me about 21 miles today, which is good. Trying to do as many 20s as possible because I calculated that at mile 900, which I've passed, 900 miles left to do. At 60 days, I need to do at least 15 miles a day to make it by the end of August. So if I keep doing 20s now, that gives me a little extra time if I need to take a 0 or something like that, which is good. So today will be another 20, and I'll keep doing 20s for as long as I can until I get to the really hard stuff, which won't be till Vermont the hills start getting bigger. Still may be able to do 20s, don't know, but we'll find out. But for now, it's a nice view of the lake. That's Greenwood Lake. I just walked out of the shelter area camp from last night, and it's down in a little bit of a valley. And I guess it's marsh over that way some, but the mosquitoes were intense last night. It was so bad that when everybody was still in the beginning of the night, you could actually hear a steady hum of just mosquitoes, that high-pitched hum, not of my tent, but all over. And they were all over the screen of my tent trying to get to me. And this morning I had to put my the bottoms of my zip-offs on so that they wouldn't attack my legs, and I had my screen on, and they were still getting my arms and everything while I was packing up. It was just amazing how bad the mosquitoes were. I haven't had mosquitoes that bad since when I was young in Florida, in the Everglades, when they would just attack you. But so I hope it's not that bad through the rest of New York. And I heard from Blue, who went home. He's from Massachusetts, and he says, yeah, Massachusetts is really bad for mosquitoes too. So we'll have to see what's gonna happen. But anyway, it's almost 7, and I gotta go about 11 miles to where my son Jonathan's gonna pick me up. And I'll do a 0 at home for 4th of July. So that ought to be fun. I build some of my weight back up. Well, New York has its share of climbing. As I come up here, and I've got to go up there. So it's fun. I mean, these kind of rocks are fun, but it's slow going. I got to get 10 miles before Johnny comes, so I got to make sure I move along. Anyway, one thing about New York, you're not just walking ridges. One thing about New York, you're not just walking ridges. It's just mountain after mountain after mountain. Up and down, up and down. And it's just hot with no air movement, so it's really a test. That's kind of what it's like. There's no real long mountain ridges or ranges. It's just you got to go up and down all these mountains and down the valleys and then up in the mountains again to get across them all. And that's what I've been doing. So anyway, it's pretty, but it's not easy. Even if they're not huge climbs, they're still not easy. Definitely, no one ever talks about New York. New York is kind of underrated as I'm coming downhill here. The difficulty. Yeah, they don't have any really long, big climbs, but the short climbs they have, 200-300 foot climbs, sometimes 100 feet, is almost all going up rocks like this. So it's very difficult. The footing is precarious. So I have nuts. I dropped my pole. Okay, there we go. So to hold the camera while I go down, whoa, some of these rocks is trying to go in a way so I don't have to fall while holding the camera. Alright, now we're getting a little better here. Not quite so hard here, but that's what I had to come down. It's July 5th, and after zeroing for July 4th at home, got to watch the fireworks and the parade and everything. I'm back at Harriman Park, just at the entrance to the park off Route 17 in New York. And Marianne just dropped me off as she's looking at her phone and everything. I'm taking, instead of my normal 2 bottles of water, 3, because the water sources aren't that great through this area. So I'm going up the mountain, slow climb, because it's really hot today. It's supposed to get thunderstorms in the afternoon, so we'll see what happens. And either today or tomorrow I'll be passing Bear Mountain, where we have to, well, we don't have to, but we can walk through the zoo as part of the trail on the other side, and then continue through New York. So I'm ready to start, and off I'm gonna go. I don't know, John, if you, my son John, if you remember this, but I vaguely do from when we did it together. It's kind of cool going up between the rocks here. I don't think this is that one where we had to squeeze through, but maybe it is. Oh yeah, this is the one we have to squeeze through. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this holding the camera. I'll barely be able to fit through. Well, it was a challenge. And I literally just barely made it because the rocks are slanted. So you gotta kind of lean against one side. Holy mackerel, to get out. But I made it. I made the challenge. I had to do it. It was just the idea of the challenge. Drop my pole. And whoa. Yes. Here. And I had to come through that. Boy, I just barely fit. I hope I didn't crush any of my stuffed food in my pockets, but anyway, that was fun. And now we continue up there. Yeah, challenge continues. I've got to climb this. I guess it's going to be throw the poles up and literally climb like a ladder after I came from there. There's the bypass, but I'm not taking the bypass. I'm gonna do the challenge and go up here. And I made it just like the challenge. That was hard, but it was fun. Easy way. I don't need no stinking easy way. We do it the hard way. What a beautiful grassy area. I assume my son remembers this because I remember when we walked through it. There's the lake in the background. And although we went through in the fall when the grass was pretty high and brown, but it was very pretty. Very pretty now. Nice grassy meadowish area. All in Harriman Park. I just came to the William Bryan Memorial Shelter. This one was built by the CCCs around the 30s. and I came on these guys here from the Times Square Church.
Yes.
So we just met each other, and they prayed for me, so I'm ready to go on the trail, and I prayed a little for them. So they're here for a section hike for what, 3 days, guys?
3 days.
Yeah. So this is a real blessing to see them here, because I haven't seen too many people that I could pray for, or they could pray for me.
Amen.
So
Really
thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, appreciate you.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
See ya.
Good luck, man.
All right, I'm almost to Bear Mountain. I'm on a peak just before Bear Mountain, but it's quite beautiful all around here. And if you look in the distance there, that is the Hudson River, where it starts getting wider down there. So as I go that way around the corner, I'll hit Bear Mountain, and then I'll have to cross a bridge on the other side of Bear Mountain to cross the Hudson River, which is a lot narrower there. It's a little below West Point, but you can see how wide it is. Starts to get down there. I don't know what part of the river or what town is around there, but quite nice looking. Finally, some of the blueberries are starting to get ripe. So now I can pick some of these blueberries and eat them. I can get an actual handful of them. They're not real ripe, all of them yet, but enough that I can pick them. All right, I'm at the Palisades Parkway. It's a highway that runs from the length alongside the Hudson River. And this part's not quite real close to it, but that's what it does. And this is probably the most dangerous road crossing that anyone will do on the Appalachian Trail. The north and south lanes are separated by a wooded medium, but there's a lot of traffic, and the speed limit's like 45, but the traffic usually goes around 50 to 60 with the occasional 70, 80 mile an hour speeder. And I gotta cross this now, so this ought to be fun. And it'll just give you an idea of the traffic. New York City, 34 miles. And I don't know, there's the white blaze over there. Actually, it doesn't look too bad this time. I did this one other time, and it was probably 50% more traffic than this. But as you can see, the cars are coming. I'm gonna have to make a dash across this as soon as it opens. As soon as I get an opening, which is right now. Okay, I made it. Oh yeah, I did not get killed, yeah. Now I gotta do the other side, which is over here. But they ask that you sign the log before you do it. So I'm gonna get that because there's a little tiny book and it was all full, so I'm not gonna sign in. But I am going to dodge cars. They look like they're going faster on this side because these people are probably coming home from New York City and they're anxious to get home, so they're gonna go faster. And oh wow, I got a break and there's only one car coming. I'm gonna walk across and see. All right, I made it. Wow. And here come the cars. Oh yeah, I made it just in time. I'm about to go up Bear Mountain. I'm camping here. And this is supposed to be the woods and kind of like semi-wilderness. And I don't know, but there's a lot of loud Spanish music in the background. I guess you can hear it. I mean, that's, oh gosh, they gotta have that blasting for us to hear it all the way over here. It's echoing right through this little valley here. So I guess there's a picnic area or something where they're gonna be playing that for who knows how long. I hope it's not gonna be real long tonight. But anyway, so much for being in the wilderness. I just hit the jackpot. Blueberries. I got 2 bushes. That bush full of blueberries that were ripe, and that bush over there. They're delicious, and I'm just spending 5 minutes to take a break and picking everything I can to eat. Oh, they're really good. Well, I got to a point, I guess I'm about a third of the way up. But the trail goes along this old abandoned road, which maybe used to be one of the old paved roads for cars way back when. Then it veers off, and they actually made steps here. We're coming up the steps and going up these steps. I don't know how far they go, but I don't think these were made for the trail. I think these are old steps for people, and they just put the trail on it. I don't remember doing this last time I came up the Bear Mountain, so this seems new to me. But the steps, I hate steps, but they do get you up fast. We're at the point where we go through a zoo after Bear Mountain. You can see there's the blaze, and here's the entrance to the zoo. Excuse me.
In this bag?
Blazes, and here we are in the zoo. Whoa, look at that swimming pool. That's nice. So where's you must be, I don't know where the blaze went. That must be, we go inside pool entrance. Oh, that's for the pool. So I guess we gotta walk through here. Yeah. There we are. There's the blaze. So, this is the zoo. Now we have to walk through as part of the trail. And the Trailside Museum Zoo. Okay, we just exited the park through the back entrance here, I guess, I don't know. And we're about to cross the bridge. Go over to Hudson, and they better not charge me. Anyway, here's the blazes. And we gotta cross the Hudson River now. They're coming out of the zoo. This is the lowest point on the AT. It's only like 200 and something feet above sea level. You'd think other places like over in Delaware would be lower, but nope, this is the lowest. So we are at the bottom and have to climb our way up. Past the trees. There's the Hudson River. There's Bear Mountain where we were. And the passing clouds that just poured on us before. Fortunately, I was under an awning. And the Bear Mountain goes up there, and somewhere along up here is West Point. So anyway, I gotta go across the river, down the road a little bit, and climb up the side of that mountain. And off I go along a ridge. As you've seen other times, you're gonna do a through hike. Sometimes you're gonna be just walking in the rain. And actually right now, this feels wonderful. Holy mackerel. And I just hope it doesn't hail or something on my head. But my pants and everything were already soaking wet, so at least this rain will rinse the salt out of them and definitely cool me off. Of course, my shoes will get wet, but hey, they'll dry out eventually. And I'm just really liking this right now. This is just a beautiful area. Beaver Pond. Beaver Lake, really. And here's the Beaver Dam over here. There was a stream here, and this Beaver Dam has stopped it, and now it's a nice lake. Beautiful. Oh, and here's a fresh cut tree. This was probably cut within a day, maybe even yesterday. And you can see they stripped the bark off because the beavers like to eat the bark. And they chewed right through this. Probably took them an hour, if that. And looks like they were going to start on this one too. It's July 7th, Sunday, and I guess it's about 8:30ish. There's a beautiful beaver pond here. Marsh area, nice. After the thunderstorms last night, it's cooled down a lot and it feels a little drier, and hopefully the wind will kick up a little bit, just keep us cool all day. Then there's supposed to be a lake further on that has a swimming area from the park, so we're looking forward to that later on. I made it to Canopus Lake, and we're in the kind of courtyard area, and as you can see, the Thru hikers has taken over this little area. And you can tell that because everything's drying all over the place. Yeah, and that's right. So over there they have bathrooms and showers, so I'm going to go over there into the shower and wash myself and my clothes. My clothes are so wet, it's not going to matter that they're in the shower getting wet anyway when I put them back on. And because even though I rinsed them in the stream yesterday, the smell doesn't come out of them unless you add some soap. And I have some dishwashing liquid that I'll put on it while I'm in the shower and everything. And by that time my shoes should be dry and everything else. So now you can see trekking poles, backpacks, sleeping bags, tents, shoes, everything's drying because it was wet yesterday. Anyway, and I had a nice hamburger and ice cream at the cafe in there. Boy, this is such a day. And above on the roof there is the cell phone tower, so I got to find out what was going on with the women's soccer. From what I understand, the U.S. is up by 2 and not much time to go. Shh. It's the mid-afternoon nap for the hikers. Don't make any sudden noises. Alright, I'm finally leaving the lake area. It was hard. I'm dry. I cleaned my clothes in the shower. I'm feeling so nice. It's a beautiful day. It's not as humid as the other days. Very sunny, and we're all sitting there just eating ice cream under the umbrellas and just saying, well, maybe we should wait till it cools down before we go. But in order for me to get some miles in, I gotta start now. It's probably about 3 o'clock. Gosh, I spent 3 hours there. It's a long time. And now I'm just looking for the blue trail to get back up to the AT. And I'm not sure where exactly it is. I said it was near the hiker campground, which might be around the bend here. But boy, that's the kind of place where you get sucked into the vortex and you just can't seem to leave. But anyway, it should do a lot of miles today because it's such a beautiful day and it's not too humid, so gotta get going. But I'm dry right now and clean. Give me a half hour and my underwear will be soaking wet again. I haven't had dry, clean underwear for 3 days now. It's been just continually wet. So this is a real nice feeling. I'm gonna enjoy it for the rest of this half hour as my sweat starts coming out. This park by the lake is nice. They provide this field for thru hiker camping, which is quite larger than need be, but they have a nice little picnic table, garbage can, fire ring, some picnic tables. Here's the Ralph Peak hiker's cabin, of which I remember from when me and Jonathan were hiking along with Orlando and Zach. And of course in here they had the same bunk beds. Wow. Only they didn't have all this stuff last time. Apparently somebody is hiking here. Here's your stuff, and there he is. How are you?
How you doing?
And the well is there. Is the well working?
I have not,
Oh.
but I think so.
They say it's working, just got to pump till the rust is out. And yes, they have the back deck here with picnic table and all. Though I'm not staying here, I'm moving on. But still pretty neat. Okay, so we gotta definitely filter this water. We don't want any coliforms in the water because they'll make you sick. So I got enough to get 5 miles, which is the next water source, and then I'll camp somewhere. Is the people sleeping upstairs. This guy's been trapped there for some time. I don't know how long. Doesn't smell yet, so I guess maybe we should go up and help him. I don't know. Anyway, so we have to be careful if we go sleeping upstairs. Alright, I made it to the ridge where you can see Route 84, which goes east-west across New York from Port Jervis east. You can hear it down there, and you can see in the distance over there is the road 84, and it goes right along here and then around the end of this mountain. So in about 23 more miles I'll be entering Connecticut. Not much further to go, so either tomorrow or early on Tuesday I'll be in Connecticut. It's July 8th, so this is 84 that we saw in the distance and that I'm crossing now. So I got about a little under 20 miles to go and I'll be in Connecticut, which, if my plan goes right, I'll be there today. July 8th, and I came upon this really nice looking lake. It's really beautiful, peaceful. And then right down here is a little baby duck just hanging out. We are now looking at the Dover oak. Supposed to be the largest oak on the AT, right at this road. And enjoying her lunch is pretzel next to the Dover oak. But this is estimated to be about 300 years old and about 6 feet in diameter. So now we are approaching the Appalachian Trail train station. It's the only train station on the Appalachian Trail, and I think the train only stops if somebody's standing or sitting there, kind of like a bus. They see you there, they stop. It's one track. In the morning it goes into New York, and in the evening the trains come back and come out of New York and come from there. So this is cool. I will sit at the train station. I am now sitting at the train station. Yes, and if we look this way, no train's coming. And I don't want to get on a train anyway. There's a deli right down the street here. I'm going to get something cold to drink, something to eat, and ice cream. Right now, I'm walking through farm fields after doing a half-a-mile walk down the road to that delicatessen, which I had a great sandwich and ice cream, but it's just, I gotta hold my other hand, so hot. Walking through this field, it's a lot less humid today, which is a good thing, but still walking through this field is just very hot. Really beautiful. You can see we walked all the way down from the road at the base of that mountain where the railroad tracks is, up through a bunch of fields. And you can see it's marked on poles, and it's very sunny. At least there's a little bit of a breeze. Not too much, but a little bit. But it's hot in the sun here for sure. And this is what you gotta watch out for. Woodchuck holes or gopher holes. Or groundhog holes, all the same thing. Well, I'm at the Housatonic River. I believe this is July 9th? Or is it 8th? I don't know, it's Tuesday. And I'm right at the Housatonic River, which is very interesting because it's, I remember Jonathan right over there at those rocks when he's about, I guess, 13 or 14, chasing a water snake. Caught it, bit him in the finger, didn't really do much to him. And he was just having a grand old time. But this is brings back a lot of memories of when we used to hike with my son Jonathan and that. But anyway, it's about, I guess, about 8:30 in the morning. So we're making good time. I'm gonna head for Kent, where they'll have a hiker, something in the middle where you can take showers, and then there's a laundromat right next to it. So I'll probably clean up, do my laundry, and see if I can get a few more miles in. I think that'll be about 15, and then see if I can get some extra miles in today. Because Connecticut's only about a little over 50 miles of trail goes through it, so I should be out of here by Thursday or Friday, one of those 2 days, into Massachusetts. You know, if it was a little later in the day, I'd be down there swimming, cooling off, because if I didn't mention it before, it's the Housatonic River, and I remember swimming there years ago with my son when we were hiking here through here. Anyway, hopefully there'll be more places to swim. I forget, but here's a view here, and I don't know, does it make sense that it looks really kind of upscale? There's a golf course in the distance and some real nice properties and manicured. Very nice. On my way to Kent. I guess that's the Housatonic down there, where it's slower moving. And it's Wednesday, the 9th, I think, of July. Anyway, we came out of Kent after taking nice showers yesterday. Spent a half a day in here, so kind of near. I did about 13 miles only. And they had a shower at the Welcome Center, and they had bathrooms, and then I resupplied, and then we ate at the Chinese place and did laundry, all that stuff. But now we've been going, and some of these downhills where I put these rock steps in, the steps are so big, it's just tough on the knees. I mean, you gotta drop down like 18 inches for most of the steps. So as we go down here, it's just really hard on the knees because I gotta do it with my poles so my knees don't take all the weight. What makes it worse with these rocks coming down something like this is I resupplied yesterday, so every time I take a step I got the full weight of my pack, so that doesn't help my knees either. But they're holding up, at least that's one good thing. So right now we're walking on a flat section. It's about 5 miles long, and it's right next to the Housatonic River. Pretty big river. Reminds me of the Delaware. It's that size. And easy hiking right now, but the gnats were just really going after me. So I had to put my netting on. But the river is very nice and pretty, which I'll show you. So this is more or less the trail, just really flat. I got a little dip here from a dry stream, but the trail itself is pretty flat. And there's the Housatonic River. I think it's a Housatonic, not Housatonic. Pretty sizable river. It has some rapids in it. Probably be very nice to canoe it. Same river that went down past Kent and that we first came to when we went over our first climb in Connecticut. So I don't really know how far we'll go along this river, but for right now Here we are. There's some signs saying no swimming, but there's a couple sections here where there's like a little sandy beach where I'm sure on a hot day you're gonna find hikers swimming in there. Well, I made it to the campsite I wanted to, which is a little over 20 miles today. So if I do another 20 tomorrow, I'll be in Massachusetts. It was a little tough today because there's a lot of climbs, like 300, 400, 500 feet. Quite a few of them. So I'm pretty tired now, but the gut hooks and the AWOL book both said that at this campsite there was water, and it had a full drop, which means that it was dependable water. So I get here and well, this is what I have. This is the dependable water. It's a dry stream. Up all the way up there, it's pretty much dry. And I kept walking down till finally I get this little trickle of water, and there's my cup filling up with the water as it's dripping. So I had to stick a couple leaves in there to make my spout so that I could have something to get the water. So it's taking a little long, but I'm getting my 2 quarts that I need for dinner tonight. And I need water to drink because I'm really thirsty. So anyway, that's what you gotta do, because this is all the water we have, and this is the dependable water, which is not so dependable. You can't always be absolutely sure when the book says there's water, because most of the time they're right, but every once in a while they're not. Especially in the summer when it's dry. All right, today's the it's 9th or 10th of July, and it wasn't supposed to rain last night, but there was one little cloud. It rained for, I guess, a half hour, not very hard, just lightly enough to get things wet. I left my vestibule doors open, so I didn't get wet in the tent, but my bag and some other things got a little wet, not real wet, but which is just a pain in the neck. So it took me a long time to pack up. I didn't get on hike until like 10 of 8, which is late for me, an hour, at least an hour late. But anyway, right down in the valley from a little past where we were camping is a racetrack. I saw this last time with Johnny when they were actually racing, but nothing's racing now. It's early, but you can see the track. Down there is the racetrack, and that's where they race, I guess, I don't know, on race days, weekends, whatever. Eat at, I don't know the place. It's about 4 miles from where we camped, and about maybe 3 tenths on a trail off the side. I may go there, I'm not sure. I just want to kind of make miles, and I do have to resupply somewhere soon for at least one more day, one more dinner, so I can get to a place where I can really resupply, like Salisbury or someplace a little past that. And so that's what I'm doing today. Met some real nice Puerto Rican guys hiking, old guys my age and that, retired, a lot of them in that, real nice guys. Had a lot of good conversation with them in that. They're mostly in Boy Scouts. One of them was a scout leader still, and that. So we had a good time with them, and Pretzel and Siren rolled in just at dark. They're tripping all over everything as they're trying to find where they can set their tents up, because they stopped and we went and ate ice cream, and I was way ahead of them, so I didn't know that, because I can't resist ice cream. So anyway, and the other thing is, I know earlier on I was complaining about the cold and couldn't wait for warmer weather, and I even said then that when the summer comes I'll probably be complaining about the hot weather. Well, now I'm complaining about the hot weather. It's like there's not a day that goes by where I'm not wet. Either it's rain or it's sweat, but my clothes are always wet. I have to take them off and hang them up at night, and then in the morning usually I'm putting them back on somewhat wet again. So there's never a time when I'm not wet, which is kind of annoying. There's that rare time when the humidity is really low, when I can dry everything out, and at least I start out dry, but the sweat always gets you in the end. And that's why hikers stink so bad. There's a really nice waterfalls here. It's right there. It's still in Connecticut. It's the 11th. It's about, I guess, 10 o'clock or so, 11 o'clock. And just thought this would be a nice picture. And Pretzel, and he doesn't have a trail name yet, possibly Cotton. And that guy there, I don't know who he is, he's going to show him where you can cliff jump off the falls, and I guess they're going to attempt it. So I would imagine it's in the left corner there, cliff jump. So let's see what's going to happen. You get a sunny spot, lots of rocks. It's time to dry the tent out. Last night it rained a little bit on it. So we are drying everything out. And they're drying everything out there, including myself. We're about 15 miles from Massachusetts now, and in the distance you can see some of the bigger mountains in this nice farm field meadow. But in the distance there are some nice bigger mountains. I don't know if that's Greylock way in the distance or not, but so the mountains getting a little bigger now than what they were in Connecticut. Oh, and here we come upon the thumb, of which I forget the saying. Behold the eye of the beholder. Hold the eye of the behold. The eye of the beholder. I don't know, whatever it is. But here's the thumb. Voila, the thumb. Thumb rock formation that I think was natural. I don't think they put it here. But it was in my trail guide. I forgot about it, but here it is. I just thought of it. It's in the eye of the beholder. Oh yes, that was bugging me this whole time, but that's what it is. All right, I just stopped to take a break. There's my pack over there because I have reached 1,500 miles. Why does that look backwards? I don't know. I just reached 1,500 miles. I am, well, 1,500 miles. I don't have that many more, 600 and something left to go. We're getting close, getting real close. I'm excited. It's around July 12th, I think. And I'm at the top of Bear Mountain in Connecticut. We're like a mile from Massachusetts or so. And we just climbed up here from Salisbury. And it's a real nice area. It's only about 2,300 or 2,400 feet, not all that high yet, but it's a lot cooler up here and windy, so it's really nice hiking with the wind cooling you off and all that. I had a real problem with chafing the other day. It only took like 2 days, and I was almost to the point where I couldn't walk, so that's why I stayed in Salisbury and went to the drugstore, and they gave me stuff to put on it, like a diaper rash stuff, and now it feels great today, so I think I'm gonna do pretty well now. Because the problem is my pants and underwear are wet all the time from sweat all day long, just from sweat. So after a while you form a rash just like a baby would with a wet diaper. So that's taken care of. Anyway, I'm gonna show you the view. Down on top of this pile of rocks they have here, and it's a really nice view from up here. Nice and breezy. Oh, I'm feeling so good with that nice breeze drying me off. That's the next mountain we gotta climb. I think that's the next one we have to climb. Anyway, and I think I hear, is it? Yes, it is. It's Pretzel. She came up. This Bear Mountain is also the highest point in Connecticut. So we are at the highest point in Connecticut right now. About to leave it to go down and into Massachusetts. We've been following this beautiful stream down here as we were coming down from Bear Mountain, Connecticut. And it's just been really nice. Some swimming holes along the way, but it's a little too cold. Water's kind of cold, and I'm not hot enough to go in cold water, but it's really beautiful here. Oh, nice little waterfall and everything. Look at this. This is great. So we've been following this for a ways now, but this is a really beautiful section here. So, this little stream that we've been following that looks so pretty, we're about a half a mile, whoa, into Massachusetts. And I'm doing the smart thing and trying to video while walking down and up rocks. So, at least I think it's pretty smart. Anyway, but so we are in Massachusetts. We have completed 10 states, 4 more left to go, including Massachusetts. And yes, my nice hairdo here with the netting is because the gnats are like crazy in my ears, in my eyes. So I had to put the netting on because they're bugging me, because they're bugs. That's what bugs do, they bug you. Anyway, what? Oh, and there's Siren and Pretzel. Guthook said that we are already in Massachusetts, but here's a sign that says we're at the line.
Oh, look at
So
over there.
we're going to assume this is the line.
It says welcome to Massachusetts.
Ah, over there says welcome to Massachusetts.
But on the
So
map
I guess
oh, sorry.
this is roughly that. That's okay. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, these have signs, so this is what we're going to do.